Shall I give you Jesus? What is your decision? Or the criminal Barabbas, who's locked in the prison? Now everyone knew that Barabbas was bad, and the kind of reputation he had. For murder and stealing, he was locked in a cell, and maybe more too, though no one can tell. Then Pilate's wife sent a message, a note, and Pilate read the words she wrote. I had a nightmare. Oh, what a fright. It scared me terribly late last night. It was all about Jesus, and now I know that you should let that good man go. Meanwhile, the chiefs of the priests did a pretty fast job of changing the mind of the whole big mob. Then Pilate, still holding the scribbled note, turned to the mob and cleared his throat. Who shall I give you? What shall be done? Turn loose Barabbas, they screamed as one. What about Jesus? Pilate demanded. Crucify Jesus, the crowd demanded and commanded. He says he's the Son of God, one snorted. We'll teach him who's who, a priest retorted. Pilate felt helpless as he heard them sneer. Then this is the whisper that reached his ear. The priests are jealous. He showed them up and said they're just like a fancy cup. It's clean on the outside but dirty within. They pretend to be good, but they're full of sin. So they thought up a plot to stir up a riot, to get rid of Jesus and keep him quiet. Ooh, did the crowd change their mind? He's done no evil, Pilate cried. We want him dead, the crowd replied. Again there rose a wild commotion, like a mighty roar of an angry ocean. Things were getting out of hand, and Pilate decided to take a stand. I wash my hands of this case, he said. His blood will be on your head. I'm through. He's yours, he said aloud, and he handed him over to the waiting crowd. Back in his cell, Barabbas waited. Barabbas, the man who robbed and hated. The cell door opened. Barabbas grew paler. You're free. You won't die, said the Roman jailer. Instead, they'll punish an innocent man. And Barabbas was stunned at the twist-about planned. But I doubt he guessed, as he watched that day, an innocent man being led away, that when Jesus died on the cross, the tree, he was setting millions of people free. Boys and girls, Barabbas was known as somebody who was very unkind. He probably had a lot of things he did wrong that are not listed for us in this story. And he did whatever it took to do what he wanted to do. And Jesus let him. He took his place. You know what? That was God's plan all along, that Jesus would die. And Pilate let Barabbas go free, as was the custom for every year. What do you think Barabbas did? What do you think he chose to do as he watched all that? We're all guilty just like Barabbas. We've done terrible things. We've lied. We've taken things that don't belong to us. We've maybe even hated, not liked, not been loving. We've broken God's law. It's ruined our relationship with God because we have a sinful heart. Remember, way back in the garden, sin entered into the world. And we're all guilty of breaking God's law. We can't do it all by ourselves. We need God's help. Barabbas, he was released so that Jesus would die, and he paid the penalty for our sins, so we don't have to. Aren't you thankful for that? A sad story that Jesus has to die, but there's hope, and it's coming. Don't forget, the rest of this week we're going to be talking about how Jesus didn't stay dead on that cross. He arose as he said.